What's going to happen? Hey, will anybody show up for his third time? I don't know. Hello, hello, hello. 3 times a charm, we hope. We hope. Jesus Christ. So, if you watched me in my previous 2 attempted streams on the iPhone, I discovered a bug. Hey, how you doing? When you're live streaming on iPhone with the YouTube app and you get a call that comes in, iPhone goes crashes. So I put the do not disturb now on the iPhone, and we're going to see if this works out. I don't know, will it work out? Hopefully it will, I don't know. I hope everybody is well. If you are hearing this okay, please give me a thumbs up and a comment. Hopefully this will be stable now. So I put the do not disturb, and I'm hoping that, hey, Ruben, how are you? Thumbs up, good, appreciate it. Were any of you guys that are on now, were you on before? Did you see the sounding great, good, appreciate that. Were you guys on before? Did you see the crashing before? If you did, let me know. Yeah, I'm attempting to use the iPhone here for streaming. Okay, you weren't on before. Yeah, I tried streaming before with my iPhone, and it crashed twice. It crashed not only the YouTube app, which I'm using to stream, it actually crashed the whole phone. I had to reboot the phone. So I figured out what the problem probably is. When I get calls coming in, it crashes the whole system, unfortunately. What are you gonna do? Just tuned in. Hello, Alex. All right, okay, how you doing? Yeah, when you tune in, as usual, say from Sydney, Australia, from Bangladesh, from Japan, Osaka, etc. I'm always curious to know where people are chiming in from. From Minneapolis, Amsterdam, very cool. Yeah, very good. Good. Norway, very good. Nice. Were any of you on the previous 2 attempted streams? Turkey, cool. Washington State. Hi, Krista from Hawaii. Hey, Christy, how are you? Hawaii. Were any of you on the previous attempted streams just like 20 minutes ago? You were, yeah. My apologies for that. What happens is if I got a call that comes in, even if I try to refuse it, it freezes the iPhone app. The YouTube app, and it crashed the whole phone, in fact. So I disabled notifications. I put the do not disturb, so I'm hoping that will keep it from happening again. Hey, Ran, comments are a little smaller. I don't know if I could make them bigger. So that's it. So this is the live stream with the iPhone. So what can I say? 23 guests, not bad. Let me start off by saying, if you're new to code, you can see the links below. This is the book for if you're totally new to code, my book on web design, HTML, CSS mostly. Touch of JavaScript. If you are an experienced developer, you want to get the refactoring book. This is the Java version. There's also a JavaScript version, the link below. So there you go. Let's see what's going on. Can you upload your diagnostic report? I have to look into that. This is my very first iPhone. I've never had an iPhone before, so I'm just learning it. Well, I've only had about a week now, I guess. It's pretty good overall, except for when it crashes. You got to get a sweet gaming PC, Stefan, and stream from there. Yeah. No, I was just looking at a portable streaming device. I thought the iPhone might be good enough because they got pretty good cameras. It's nothing like my cinema camera. That's what I usually stream with, this big thing right here. But, this is not bad. In a pinch, The SLI 390s, I have to look at that. What is that? Sounds like a good bug. Bounty might be high. Oh, you really? Hey, if I send in that bug, if I send in the report. Ah, that's true, huh? Yeah, okay, yeah, thanks for the tip. Maybe they can pay for this iPhone. It keeps crashing on me. What's the flaw? I just jumped in. Yeah, I was trying to stream with my iPhone, and as I was streaming using the YouTube app, the I got calls coming in, and whenever a call would come in, it would crash the whole thing. Boom. So somebody's saying if I send in the bug report, I can get free money from Apple. They get a few bucks to spare. We'll see about that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. What are the comments here? Okay. You just both got 12. You both got 12. Excuse me. We both just got the 12 Max Pros on the weekend. Laugh aloud. Pro Max, whatever it goes. Yeah, that's what I'm using now. Generally, I'm very pleased with the phone. The cameras are the best cell phone cameras ever used. I'm streaming right off it now. I just want that portability. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good, right? Yeah, it looks not bad. Looks not bad considering. I have one light here, just if you want to know, so people can see. That's about it. And from Russia, Kaliningrad. I never heard of that place. Wow, very cool. Yeah. So these impromptu streams. So yeah, the stream, if you're just jumping on, the stream crashed twice because I was streaming, phone call came in, crashed the whole thing, had to restart the phone. And then the phone crashed again. And then I started another stream, and then I got another call came in, the phone crashed again. So now I put it on ignore. I have it on whatever, do not disturb mode with the half moon. I think that will solve the problem. We'll see. So I hope everybody's well, enjoying, I don't know, we're lockdown heaven here in Montreal, fantastic. My plan to make native apps ended when Apple banned Parler. Now I look to web stuff, need a modern skill to be self-employed. Well, you know me, politics aside, I've always been an advocate of web before native for flexibility, you know the reasons. So yeah, that's it. That's the story. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in. In fact, my reason for this stream was to test to see how viable this is in terms of a streaming device. If you guys like it, see what you thought, etc., etc., etc. If you do like it, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. How's the sound? Does it sound good? How's the video quality? Good enough for you guys? Is it clear? Let me know. It just makes it easier to stream. I don't have to set up my my oversized novelty camera here. Like, there it is, right here. So yeah, not viable only if it's the last option. Well, if it's crashing. The sound is very pleasurable. Very good. That's good. Good. I'm using just the mics built into the iPhone Pro 12 Max Ultra Super Duper, whatever it is. All web money earned from hourly consulting or SaaS products. I don't think it weird that you are 169 years old. Well, I'm an anomaly. I don't know what happened. I heard that my mother met this guy named Duncan MacLeod, and here you go. The sound is very pleasurable. All the web money earned from hourly consulting or SaaS products. I know what you're asking there. SaaS product will take you longer to develop in terms of a market, but ultimately you can make a lot more money with that. But consulting is a very quick and easy way to get into your own first business. I think consulting is the first good business. Let's see what SJ has to say. I scooped your Python program. Thanks very much for that. Finished. That's congratulations, by the way. It's great. Stop disappearing. These comments disappear. Jumped into your web dev. One into tech. How do best recommend focusing on multi-languages? I was focused on Python, now web dev. Just thanks for the comment, Osama. I'm glad it sounds good. Just do the web stack courses. Do my courses. Then you can start. You'll have lots of real world coding you can do in those courses. So just do those courses. You'll see it'll pay off. Camera looks good and sound is really good. It's no 4K, but it doesn't really matter if it's easier to use. Yeah, this I think because I'm using the YouTube app, it is streaming out at 720p. But I think that's okay for small things, you know. However, the waves of two lights would be more restful for thine lizard brain. Oh yeah, sound. I like that. That's a good sentence there, Mr. Ran. The sound is good, but I really like Mr. Bokeh from the camera. Yeah. Well, I won't be using this all the time. I just wanted to see if it was something I could use. I wanted to sell native apps so I didn't have to sell myself as a consultant. I guess I should focus on making a SaaS product unless there is just tons of consulting work. Both are viable options, you know. You could create, a native app or SaaS product, whatever. You can create a PWA, you can create a SaaS and deliver it in PWA format. Yeah, that's an option there for you. By the way, Craig, Tiff, how do you like your iPhone? Do you like the iPhone? You better be still watching. What do you think of Jordan Peterson? I've seen some of his videos. I saw him on Joe Rogan. He's basically, I know he's controversial for whatever reasons, but at the end of the day, he's just a psychologist, you know. My major in university was psychology. So I know the data he cites, well, some of it anyway. So no politics, it's just data. I have an iPhone Pro Max. I like it expensive though. Yeah. Well, you amortize it in the cost of your monthly plans and you're okay, you know? You're okay. So what's news? What was news? Yeah, hold on. So yeah, just a little news. What do supervisors expect from an intern or junior developers? Just try to write clean code, and if you have questions, ask them. Don't pester. Good communications, you know. So I released, if you don't know, for the mentoring group, if you guys are in the mentoring group, I released the money course, 15 lessons, 30 minutes of video. That will be out to the general public soon, I suppose. Just got here, what's the newly discovered iPhone flaw? Well, it crashes. It crashes if you're trying to live stream in YouTube and you get a phone call. It crashes the whole OS, in fact. Yeah, how do you guys do a dump? How do you do a dump from the phone and send it to Apple so I can, I should look that up. Anyway, yeah, so that's the story. And what else is there? So the new money course is out. It will be out for general public in the mentoring group. And I actually released the first chapter of the Lizard Wizard course. That's actually in the mentoring group as well. Hello, how are you doing? I hope everything is well. If you're just chiming in, I'm just using the new iPhone Pro Max to test live streaming on YouTube. It isn't 4K, but I think it's more than acceptable. It's just a lot easier than setting up my cinema camera. Don't worry, I'll still use the cinema camera. I just wanted to see how this was. So unless there's any questions, I'm going to test something out right now. So I'm going to see if I can do any of these silly effects here. Let's see what goes on. Let's see if it crashes. Whoa, there we go. That's it. Ooh. That's pretty good. The psychedelic 169-year-old live stream, you have to have had a few drinks to enjoy the stream. Woo! This is how I would be streaming if it was the 1960s. Hey, how you doing? No, the video's totally normal. I think you got some problem with your eyesight. All right, so that's enough of that. What else is this? Hey, even more. Okay, this is all cool stuff. All right, it's video back when I was just a young 50-year-old. Look at this, just like it was back in the day. I'll keep it with this. I think it's good. So there you go. How old are you actually? Twilight Zone on mushrooms, exactly. So there you go. See, my cinema camera can't do any of this stuff. I kind of like this. So there you go, guys. 1970s, man, more like 65. Yeah, 8 millimeter, 8mm 65. That's it. Um, all right, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to check how this was, see how you guys were doing as well. If you have any questions, feel free. Again, here's a question. I'm going to graduate this year. I have learned front end and made some projects. I have no experience. Your tip for me to get a job? Build a beautiful website, then go out and offer your services as a stagiaire for free, or maybe do 1 or 2 little small projects. Make sure that website looks good. Make sure your writing is good. Which tools do you prefer debugging and optimization? Depends on the language, you know. Microsoft always makes very good debuggers, very good code editors. JetBrains also makes very good product as well, but there are others. PHP. I think PHP Storm is still king in that regard. PHP Storm, which is a JetBrains product. I think that's probably the best one still. Most interesting PHP framework to learn. By far and away, Laravel. Laravel. For sure you want to do Laravel. Yeah, JetBrains, good stuff. PHP coming soon. It may be coming soon or may be out. In fact, here's an announcement for you guys. Now I got to put the announcement colors. No, that's not an announcement. Okay. That's no good. Okay, here's the announcement colors. So the big announcement for 2020. The Lizard Wizard course is out partially. The money course is out. And I'm going to be doing unnecessary, but I am going to do updates to my HTML5 course. Just some extra material in there for people. If you bought it, or you had 2021, excuse me. If you bought it or have bought it, you will get it. Everybody will get the upgrade. Same thing with the CSS3. I'm going to add a little bit there, a big announcement. JavaScript, big announcement. And even PHP. Python, no need. So 2021. So yeah, those are the announcements coming out pretty soon. Not that they're needed, because once you do the courses, everything is, all that's, the little extras is nothing. You learn it in 2 seconds. So yeah, that's just coming out. So that's my announcement. I'll go back to normal non-announcement color scheme. No COBOL, no COBOL. Is Laravel a good backend for React, or you'd prefer Express instead? I think you could shoot back and forth your JSON objects pretty easily with your Laravel, so I think you're fine. What are some common JavaScript design patterns that are good to know, including Node.js? Why, I couldn't speak to specific JavaScript. Friendly minor, leave a like. Yeah, leave a like, everybody. Design patterns are universal. I would stick to like the 5-10 big ones. You use MVC probably, model view controller. It's the structure of most apps, modern apps. No iterator, no the filter pattern. Some people call it decorator. Those off the top of my head. I would typically use MVC, decorator. I called it filter at the time. Iterator, facade. Those are the ones I would use over and over and over again. Yeah, just learn the basics. Get a decent book on. I'm going to find a good book on design patterns that will accompany my recommendation on the refactoring book. Link is below if you're interested. There's a JavaScript and a Java version. And I think if you do that, you do the basic courses, you do refactoring, and you do some basic design patterns, Bob's your uncle. You'll be ready to go. Yeah. So let's see, any more comments? How do you choose perfect colors and styles while building a website? There are sites. I think Adobe has Coolio, I think it is, where you type in a color. Yeah, if you go to, got a distracting message there. Sorry, guys. Yeah, you go for colors in a website, you can go to the sites where you type in your basic logo color, for example, and it will give you the colors that complement it. That's how you do that. And the colors are also specific to the domain in which you are Interesting. Like you're not going to have the same color scheme for a nightclub that you would have for, I don't know, a wedding planner, right? Wedding planner would be whites and soft pastel colors, and a nightclub would be dark blacks and reds, you know. Is the startup video coming soon? Can't wait for it. Is the startups video coming soon? Yeah, you know, sorry, we've just been so busy with that. I got to get them in here. Yeah. As a software engineer student, so I have no, the startup is exploding. So they went from pretty successful startup to, looks like they might hit unicorn status. So they're just really, really busy. Hard to schedule time, you know. As a software engineer student, I have no interest about WebStack. Low battery, oh my Jesus, all kinds of problems there with the phone. But in my area, all jobs are in WebStack, and I also don't know what I like to do. What I would do, if I were you, Mr. Siolas, I would just learn the basics of the WebStack and do one job, just to make sure you hate it. And if you do, then you can pivot to other things, because what you learn in WebStack is very applicable to all kinds of different areas, okay? Which process you follow to create websites when working with clients? What headless CMS do you recommend? Okay, so let's do the first one. Which process you follow to create websites with working with clients? You start with the screens, number one. You take out a pen and paper, and you draw out page one, login screen. Page two, person profile page. Page three, and you draw out literally what UI elements are going to be there. Any select boxes, any drop downs, etc. Remember to take Bitcoin profits at 50K. Wow, 50K, unbelievable. Yeah, so that's what you do. And then, so you map out the physical layout like that, and you get an approval on that. And with that physical layout, the front end layout all mapped out and approved, signatured by the client, then you can go and work on a database based on that. That works for me. That's how I design everything, in fact. I'm ready, made 4 jobs, sir. Ha ha ha. I already made 4 jobs. So you hate it with 4 jobs. Well, then start looking at other stacks, other things, you know. Maybe you want to do, I don't know, server automation stuff with Python, you know. Maybe check into game programming, you know. But yeah, if you know, jobs, there's a lot of things I like to do. I would like to be paid to drink beer all day, but not too many jobs doing that. There you go. All right, so any other questions before I let you guys go? What's a popular stack in Canada? It's regional. It's regional. Big businesses, it's going to be Java and C#.net. Do you freelance? Not anymore. I haven't done it in a while. I run a SaaS. I'm currently studying mechanical engineering for sure. Found love for coding. Do you think it's worth trying to switch degrees or stick with what I have to keep coding in my free time? I don't know. You could, you know, it depends how many electives you do. See how many electives you can generate from the mechanical engineering you've done thus far. If it doesn't delay you too much and you really love to code, then code. What's your main language? I'm guessing it's not Ruby. This guy is psychic. He's psychic. Actually, you know, one thing, I don't know if I mentioned it. We actually did build an app in Ruby. We built a long time ago. It wasn't Rails, Ruby. And it was a site checker. It would ping websites to make sure they're up. It was a service base, and it ran on different clients. So what we did is we created a web app where people would submit their site for pinging, for testing. And so then our app, which was a standalone command line app written in Ruby, it would then on a cron, we run it on a server cron, it would go to the database, I think whatever it was, every minute or so, and it would grab sites that hadn't been checked within the minute, and it would just do a ping test against it to make sure it was still alive. And if it wasn't alive, it would send an email to the site owner saying, hey, your site is not responding to request. So we had built that, and for redundancy's sake, I designed it such that there was multiple instances of this software running on different computers. So if one computer went down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it was pretty cool. And we wrote it, it was very quickly done in a few days. Hi, Stef, greetings from Austria. Keep doing live shows, I love it. Hey, great, I'm glad you like the show. Hey, Stef, how often do you deep clean your apartment? Well, I've been doing renovations to the place, so it's pretty clean. Repainted walls, redid a bunch of, put in all new ceiling lights. There's one. We're putting in a brand new kitchen soon. What else did I did? Put in new thermostats, smart thermostats, new heaters, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, deep cleaning, it's pretty clean already, Any recommendations for getting started with test-driven development for JavaScript? Oof, no particular recommendations. I am into TDD once a code base hits production. I'm kind of a rebel that way. I think that applications, before they hit real-world milestones, they're subject to massive amount of changes. So I don't like putting effort into writing a bunch of tests for when I know that the code base is probably going to shift quite a bit. But once you have an established code base, then you start writing tests. Android Studio is still viable for mobile dev, or is a better option? I couldn't say. I have not used Android Studio, so I don't know. See what the reviewers say, man. It's a general principle. All these tools are really good, generally speaking. And a lot of times, one tool or another, whether it be a code editor, whether it be a language, whether it be a stack, whether it be a database server, etc. A lot of times it comes down to personal taste and the particular project at hand. That's it. Some languages, some frameworks lend themselves well to certain circumstances. What do you think is the future of the internet? The future of the internet. Let me ponder. Well, I think the internet is going to be here for a long while. There we go. Stupid effects. I just discovered these stupid effects on the iPhone, so I'm like a 14-year-old kid again. All right, so don't worry about the internet. Hey, how you doing? Anissa the Queen. Jason, hello from New York. Hey, how are you, Taz? Are you in lockdown like us? I'm up in Montreal, Canada. Major lockdown. After 8 o'clock, you can get $1,500 fines here. $1,500. In your opinion, what skill would you expect junior web dev to have regards to skill HTML, CSS, and understand JS? Web dev should know HTML5, CSS, CSS3 well, understand the web stack. They should know a little bit of JavaScript. They should understand responsive design. They should understand a mobile first. They should understand the basic request response model. If they're doing full stack, of course, you got to know a database, an SQL database preferably, although if you know NoSQL, that also helps. You got to know one of the backend languages. You got to be able to do things like process form request, process get and post request, know basic security. That's pretty much it. And have good communication skills. There you go. All right, there's 73 people and only 23 thumbs up. Yeah, no worries. Glad to help. So what are we going to do here? So this is my special announcement, special effect. When something really big is going to happen. It's like a Twitch stream all of a sudden. Anyway, let me stop this. Hold on, sorry. Can web development actually, hold on. There we go. Can web development actually be challenging algorithmically? No, it's kind of the same all the time, mostly crud. Yep. Web development is mostly crud. 169 years old. I can't remember when I was 69. Great question. Yeah, it's mostly crud. Most web apps are taking in input from forms. People type in information in forms, think Facebook. Form information comes in, you process the forms, you store it in a database of some sort, And then sometime later, you take that information and then you present it to people filtered. That's pretty much what most web apps are about, whether it be a social media network or whether it be a business app. Yeah, it's mostly CRUD. The complexity in web app development is in creating really intuitive UIs, in creating an efficient database structure, and in keeping your code clean. It's architectural. It's mostly architectural issues. That's why I do I need to learn algorithm for most jobs? Just look at the job listings. They'll tell you. You're giving me lighting flashbacks with those effects. Thank you for the answer, Stef. No problem, Nikos. How difficult it is for someone to jump back into software industry after taking a few years hiatus? You should be good because it hasn't really changed much. The big difference is in the last few years, and big is it's more incremental, and that has to do with DevOps. Servers are actually getting easier too now. Okay, does it mean you're going to start streaming video games? Just kidding. No. What do you think about quantum computing? I don't know too much about it. Are you planning on buying one of MacBooks that will be released this year? Should I start my own company or work at Google? Depends on whether you have the wherewithal to be an entrepreneur. Are you planning on buying one of the MacBooks? My next computer will be an M1 chip. There's no question about that. It's a game changer, I think. Stef came in. Stef's 69 years old. Is this for real? No, 69. I'm 169 years old. Stef, really appreciate you, even though I feel sorry for you being 169. See, yeah, he's got it. As you say, you are not a nerd. Don't call yourself that. And you are always welcome in my home with very good stuff. Hey, thanks. I really appreciate that. I didn't get hired at Google yet. How do I get connection to get hired? I have to do a dedicated video on that one. Don't worry. Don't give up, by the way. A lot of people fail several times before they actually get where they want to go. So don't give up, buddy. Ask the people, by the way, when they say, hey, we're not hiring you, say, can you tell me why? And the worst they can say is no, and you're where you started. So yeah, but ask. A lot of times they'll tell you. Can I develop UI with JavaScript without using big JavaScript frameworks like React? Yes, you can. You can do it totally from scratch if you like. But I recommend using a framework because it just saves you a lot of headaches in the end. Do you implement solid design principles? Should a junior dev be familiar with them? Just be familiar with them, everything's project specific, I suppose. Managing states in web development can be quite difficult as well, especially if you're not using Vue or React. Exactly. Yeah. We don't use either at work, and it's a pain in the neck. Well, that's it, I use Vue. We use Vue in Studioweb. Kevin, Stefan, I always listen to you on my way to work. I love your tips and suggestions. Hope to be as knowledgeable just like you. I'm glad I could help. Thanks for listening in. Do you think the Apple M1 is going to help Microsoft with their ARM-based computers? Would help Microsoft? Well, it's already pushing the whole industry. When they released their M1 computers, Microsoft announced they're going ARM, blah, 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 blah. It's going to help. Yeah, it's going to push them hard because they're going to have to compete because the old x86 architecture is old school. Hi, OOP versus procedural. What do you think with PHP? Yeah, if you're doing a small one-page thing, do procedural. But if you're doing anything of complexity, I would use OO. But don't go crazy with inheritance or anything. Use interfaces instead. Hi, how are you? I am very good, VKKV. I know Kevin, he is really great. Oh, I guess they're talking about Mr. Weiber. I guess he is. What are the biggest challenges you came across as a programmers? The biggest problem you're going to have as a developer, as a programmer, is just managing the specifications and the interactions with the client. That's the biggest problem. That's why I always say interpersonal skills are very important. You have to learn to manage dealing with the clients that way. And I think that was my recommendations. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So, any other questions before I let you guys go? There's 81 of you and only 43 thumbs up. I'm very disappointed in you guys. What do you think? Is using Bootstrap still worth it? Yeah, sure, why not? If it speeds up the process, there's no downside. Bootstrap is going to be supported for many, many years. It was the standard for quite a while. I'm sure there's a lot of people are still using it. So, yeah. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. The reason I asked for it is because apparently, well, not apparently, the Google algorithm pays attention to how many thumbs up it's seeing as people watch a stream. And there you go. Just in case you're wondering, I live in Montreal. This is downtown Montreal, right here. Yep. It's pretty dead right now. We have a curfew. And after 8 o'clock, all that's on the street are zombies. Just came in to say hi. You helped me become a better programmer and a freelancer. I started coding 3 months ago, and I already have 3 paid projects. Thank you. Hey, congratulations, Jelena. I hope I said that right. Congratulations. Glad I could help. How to make a website in C++. You take your C++ compiler and you close it, and then you get HTML, CSS3, and JavaScript. Don't build websites with C++. Not the right tool for the job. I know you guys. Give our guy a thumbs up. Yeah, for sure. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, Anissa, excuse me. How fast do you type? Reasonably. I'm not a daily coder, so I don't type as fast as I used to, but I can type pretty good. How's Canada, our lovely 169 new Ruby developer? That's good, that's good. Canada's not bad. It's a little cold. It's not bad though, you know. I see that chat is not that busy. Maybe I may squeeze my question. Is it necessary to have a different database for off server in CRM? No. What's the best coding language to start with? Probably Python. Because it's kind of looks like normal human language, if you will. Doesn't have funny symbols. And it's pretty consistent. Yeah, probably Python. And by the way, if you look below, 50% off my Python course. Shameless plug. All right, what do we got here? Well, he can use Rust WebAssembly if he wants to go wild with web development. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Instead of C++, if you're a glutton for pain, if you like to whip yourself, yeah, do Rust and WebAssembly for web development. See how it goes. There's some advantages if you have really huge apps, I think. But, you know, not many of us are building Facebook or Google, right? What would be your advice for someone who wants to renegotiate their salary? Do really good, write really good code and good documentation, work well with people. Make it so you become essential. Consider your job as a developer, as a service provider. What that lady behind you? Which language? Which language will be best to get hired as a new dev? Ooh, look at local job listings. Every region seems to have its own preference. I learned programming C++. Don't do that, laugh out loud. If you know C++, for you to learn like JavaScript will be like trivial. Well, security is a good point for using WebAssembly. That's true. Do you have to use separation of concerns to change database providers without changing much code? Separation of concerns, by the way, is a basic, I don't know if you call it design pattern. It's just a basic principle of good software architecture. And you want to, it's basically, I'm trying to figure out a way to say this in non-nerd ways. It's basically a way of categorizing your code into segments that are So you separate your code into chunks based on whatever that chunk of code is concerned with. So you may have a chunk of code concerned with authentication, another with UI, painting, etc. It's kind of a rough way of saying it. Yeah, best choice for Flutter app backend, Django REST API versus Firebase. Ooh, I couldn't say. I have not compared the two. Test it out. See what people say. Use factory pattern to make it easy to move from one DB edge into another. Yeah, that's good. But you know, it's like there are a lot of ORMs will do that for you. ORMs are object relational mapping tools, and you just point it at database A and B, and good ORMs will be able to do all the translations for you. Forget about ORMs. Even like PHP PDO, for example, is a library built in PHP, which will do that as well. So you just code your PHP PDO, and it translates to whatever database you happen to be connecting to. In my career, though, it is super rare. It's super rare that somebody is going to switch from database A to B. It's very rare. So I wouldn't be so concerned about. Yeah, SQL Academy in Python, NTFramework.net. Yeah, exactly. 101 people in the chat hit the thumbs up. Yeah, thanks, Anissa. Yeah. How are we doing for power? You know, it's been a 15%, so I can't go on much longer. I'm running this on my iPhone for a change instead of my mega camera. I just wanted to see how it would be to stream on this sound video, see how people liked it. If you had to choose between Node or Python for backend development, which one would you go with? Ooh, very difficult. It depends on the project, so not so difficult. It depends on the project. If I need a lot of concurrency, I lean towards Node. The problem I had with Node last time I looked into it, and it was a while back, so they may have improved things. Audi. Yeah, the problem with Node was that the packages are very messy. It's very messy NPM, I think it is. Whereas Django is much more mature, it's cleaner. PHP is very clean as well. iPhone is okay, but I love the Cinema Cam. Yeah, I don't worry, I'm not dumping the Cinema Cam. The iPhone quality looks surprisingly good. Yeah, it does. Hey, it's interesting. It's brand new iPhone 12, just in case you were wondering. I just wanted to test it. But I'm using the built-in YouTube app, so it's only streaming out at 720p, even though I think this camera is 4K. Normally I stream 4K. Node.js versus Python, go for Python. Fast API, yeah, there you go. I remember a few years ago, Node was like, oh my God, everybody's going to do Node. And I just told everybody, calm down, calm down. Node's good, but calm down. Concurrency plus async. What are your opinions on the video game industry around employability and stability? It's hard to say. There's a lot of work there and there's money in it. There's no question about it. But I know from people that I know, if your game fails, they'll boot entire departments. See you later. Your game sucked. You're gone. So that could happen. 99 watching, only 66 thumbs. Yeah. Slackers, only 66. Come on, guys. Is there only one admin? Should I just whitelist his IP for the admin page and not bother making a login system? That's interesting. Yeah, problem is this IP going to change? Anyway, if you use a decent framework, you can implement an authentication pretty simply. Like if you look at Laravel, implementing auth is like, you know, that's a good idea. You could do both, you know. What type of music do you like to code to? I'm not an active coder these days. What did I listen to? All kinds of different music, now that I think about it. How should I hire people for my own company? Vet them quite well. What should I vet for? For coders, you want to make sure that they understand the fundamentals, give them a bunch of screens to design and tell them to design a database based on that. I'm assuming you're doing web apps. Make sure they communicate well, short, concise, to the point. Make sure they're agreeable people, easy to get along with. I'd rather have an okay coder who's good to get along with than a hotshot who's a total, yeah. Can we know more about your sport routine? Well, last week or two I've been slacking because I got food poisoning a few days ago, and I was slacking before that. I used to do a lot of boxing, a lot of martial arts back in the day. Now a little run, a little walking, weightlifting, but COVID lockdown restricts my capabilities. Which one of your classes I should start first? I'm a beginner at coding. I would do the Python, just do the Python. That will teach you about coding, and be warned though, there's snake stuff. There's a lot of snakes in that course. If you're afraid of snakes, just be prepared. But that's a good course. People like that one. Or do my web stack course. They're both good. They all kind of complement each other, by the way. Django is cleaner. Can't imagine how bad Node is. Just ran into a bug where library from 2019 was using utils.6 and 3.0 standard rejected it. So all libs use there you go. Yeah, that's the problem with Node. Can you hire me in exchange for food? I'm afraid definitely of snakes. Don't worry, the snake is only in video. The snake will not jump out at you, but there is a snake. I'm just letting you know. But it'll be good because by seeing the snake and being a little fearful, you'll remember how to code much more quickly, guaranteed. So the snake is, because of the snake, you should get the course. Because of the snake. You're going to make any more courses? Yes, I just put out a money course. It's in the mentoring group. It'll be put public soon. I put out the first chapter of my very advanced psychology. Oh, this one. Hold on. My very advanced psychology course called The Lizard Wizard. It's going to teach you how your brain works. There's two operating systems in your brain. When you think operating system, think Mac OS versus Windows. So you have two in your brain. One is called the lizard by the sciences. So that's coming out. Why? Because great communication skills, great interpersonal skills is going to make you a better and more effective developer. I like that special effect. All right. Stef, you look great for 169 years old. That's it. I told you, my father's name was Duncan MacLeod. If anybody can get that reference, I'll shoot you a 50% off coupon. Okay, definitely sign up for it. Well, thanks. Let me know if you have any questions. You know how to reach me. Hey, Stef, greetings from Germany. I have Windows Phone operating system brain. There you go. You crash all the time. Now, there are two. There's the lizard brain and the logical brain. The guy who figured this out, he's a very world-famous psychologist named Daniel Kahneman. And he wrote one of the most important books in history, I would say. The book is called Thinking Fast and Slow. So my lizard brain course is based partly on his work, Cialdini, my own experience in martial arts, meditation, a bunch of other stuff. There you go, Highlander stuff. Highlander reference. There you go, exactly, Highlander. Is there a 2OS in the human brain? Which one wears the hat backwards? Is that a sign of confusion? That's pretty good, Highlander reference. There you go. Which chips would go into the human brain? Then there are three brains. When chips go into the human, yeah, exactly. When chips go into the human, when Elon Musk gets his dream. Hey, Stefan, okay, here we go. How are we doing? I gotta check the power, guys. Hold on. Down to 13%, so we're gonna have to end off the stream. Hey, Stefan, what do you think are the main projects a developer should done before starting the freelancing journey as a full-stack web developer, mobile web app? Thanks in advance, champ. Greetings from drummer programmer Stef, nerd called Stef. Hey, how are you, butters? Yeah, Duncan MacLeod, Highlander, you got it. Yeah, I miss my drum set. I got rid of it because I moved into this building where the other owners, I don't think they'd appreciate my drum set, so unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to answer Hosen's question, and then I will sign off because it's been almost an hour and my phone is dying here. What's the question here? Okay, let me answer. Let me read it again. How do you think are the main projects a developer done before starting a freelance journey as a full stack mobile web dev? Thanks in advance. Okay, so I always tell people you learn your fundamentals, HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, be able to do responsive site. You can go back in a stream, I give you the list of tools that you need, skills. Then you do two to three little jobs for free. So you learn how to run a project, how to quote, how to bid, how to structure, how to time out your projects, that kind of thing. My freelance course gives you the templates, teaches you all of this, makes it easy. And then you're ready to go. You put up a nice looking website, make sure it looks good, and then you can approach people. When you, hold on, I lost my thought for a second. When you are freelancing in the first few years, when you are programming in the first few years, there's a lot of learning as you go. So expect that. Don't state the obvious, Michael. No, I literally, I have to go actually. That's why I've been on an hour. Give our guy a thumbs up before leaving the chat. Yeah, I appreciate that, Nisha. Thank you. Anissa, excuse me. Do you plan on live streaming frequently? I intend to, actually. I intend to quite a bit. I really like live streaming. That's why I do it. It's a lot of fun. I like answering questions. It's pretty cool. And I'm just using the iPhone as a test now because it allows me to maybe live stream in locations where I may not necessarily have this camera here. So that's good. What's going on here? Who is this guy? Just came in my recommend. You don't know who I am. Just go to Google and you're going to type in 169-year-old nerd. And I'm the man. According to, you can go to Google and you find I'm the 169-year-old nerd. And you go to YouTube. Yeah, you can find out about me. Hey, watching you from Venezuela. Blessings to you. Oh, thank you. Blessings right back at you. I appreciate it. Love the streams. Glad you like it, Faith. Okay, what else do we got here? He is the lizard man. No, I am the lizard wizard. I am the lizard wizard, who happens to be 169 years old, because my father was Duncan MacLeod. All right, that's thanks for joining the stream, guys. I always have fun, and I'm going to try to start setting regular schedules for these. That's it. If you're new to my streams, I typically I got into subjects, coding, web design, etc., programming. I've been software developer since the 90s. Good chatting with you too. Good night, Anissa. And just so you guys, just in case you want to know, if you're a total noob, you want to learn the web, this is my book. I wrote this. You can get it on Amazon, UK, US, Canada, whatever. It's got a lot of good reviews. Still good for today. I wrote it to be evergreen. And if you already got a decent coding background and you want to level up your game quickly, here's another book, highly recommend. It's one of the few books that I kept from the ancient days. I actually bought a fresh copy. Oh, this is a 2003 edition. Because I dog-eared my first one. This is going to level up your game as a coder like nothing else. Refactoring. This is the Java version. There's links below. You can get the JavaScript edition as well if you want to level up your game after you know your basics. You'll be surprised how quickly it has an impact. And finally, if you are afraid of snakes and you want to take care of that phobia, you should do my Python course because there's some snake action going on in there. And it will help you with your Python and your snake phobia at the same time. All right. Thanks for sharing the book references. No problem. All right. That's about it. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I plan on doing a lot more lives. If you like this style of live, let me know. All right. Yusuf Turkey me. Have a good night. Good night. Square root of 169, 13th birth, 13 years old. GIF maths nerd. There you go. Love from UK. Love from Canada. Appreciate it coming in. I'm going to take your cert test. Cool. Yeah. Let me know how it goes. And yeah, Yeah, I did. I released the certification system, Studioweb one. We provide it to all kinds of schools. And it's every time you sit down to do a cert, it's random. Everybody's certification exam is random. All questions delivered randomly. I bought your web design book. Hey, thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. I made like 5 cents. No, see, you write a book not to make money, especially in this space. You write a book for the prestige. And it was actually a lot of fun. Got all kinds of nice photos and stuff. I had a couple editors. Very colorful, right? Teach you about color palettes. It's kind of cool. I had the DOM. Yeah, the DOM. Anyway, cool stuff. Yeah. Anyway, there you go, guys. Happy New Year, everybody. Take care. Take care of yourselves. And if you're feeling pressure about learning how to code, take a deep breath, relax, 10 deep breaths, calm yourself down. Don't worry. Anything that's a little bit difficult at first or even hard at first, it's worth it because that means it's worth money. All right? That's my barrier to entry. So we'll talk soon. Thanks for joining in. Bye-bye.